on HDTV. The champion is 29. The challenger is 38. Everything else is virtually identical. Our main event is ready to start, and here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Presented by Bud Light. Here we go. Sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission with Chairman Francisco Aguilar, Executive Director Keith Kaiser, Commissioners Skip Avancino, Bill Brady, TJ Day, and Pat Lundvall. Our three judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are Junihiro Camacho, Chris Lee, and Patricia Morse-Jarman. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Herb Dean. This bout is sponsored by Bud Light. Here we go. Powered by Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram, and Metro PCS, where nationwide 4G LTE is $40, period. And now, this is the moment UFC fans around the world have been waiting for. Live from the sold-out MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. It's time! 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC middleweight championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a Muay Thai kickboxer and jiu-jitsu fighter, holding a professional record, 33 wins, 5 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Curitiba, Brazil, presenting the challenger, the former UFC middleweight champion of the world, Anderson, the Spider Silva! And now, introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a wrestler and a grappler, holding an undefeated record, 10 wins, no losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 184 pounds. Fighting out of Baldwin, New York, ladies and gentlemen, presenting the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Chris Weidman!
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. We're going to have a clean fight. Let's cut gloves. Come on, ready to do this.
The chance of USA for the champion, Chris Weidman. The challenger, the greatest of all time, Anderson, the Spider Silva.
Ready.
Good. Tonight's clock brought to you by Bud Light. Here we go. Again. Silva in his familiar yellow trunks. Blue trunks for Weidman. Anderson's hands are up.
The question is, how long is Chris going to stand with him before he decides to try to take him down?
Absolutely.
And Chris throws a front kick to the body.
Speaking of kicks, that's what we're going to look for from Anderson.
And there's a single.
He stuck it.
He's got him down.
Silva looking to get right back up.
And this is what Chris wanted. Wanted to get a hold of him quick, and Anderson's right back up to his feet. Nice knee by Anderson.
Anderson can be very dangerous from this position with Chris's head low.
And he's dangerous from every position, especially when he's fresh, early in the fight. He pushed some weight. He's got to look out for those knees. That's where Anderson excels.
The Rich Franklin fights.
And he's so good in that Muay Thai clinch as well. Oh, he hurt him. He hurt him already. Anderson's in trouble. He's in trouble.
Looking to finish the fight. Chris Weidman all over Silva. Can he do it again? Or can Anderson survive?
He survived, but he got rocked.
Wow. Chris was smart not to punch himself out there.
Well, he realized that Anderson had him in his guard. He wasn't able to really generate power. He's looking for an Ezekiel choke.
Can he get a choke?
No, not yet. I mean, not from where he's at, but the fact is he's stopping the breathing of Anderson. He's got to look out for Anderson's guard, though. Anderson has a very good offensive guard, an underrated guard.
Look to throw the elbow.
Anderson's looking for an arm triangle from the bottom. Very difficult to get. In fact, Jeremy Horn is the only guy that I've ever seen get it. He got it on Chuck Liddell and put him to sleep with it in Chuck's first loss in the octagon.
Anderson trying to weather this early storm.
Anderson lands a short punch from the bottom.
But he takes one from Weidman.
Well, Weidman has got to get out of the guard.
Yeah.
Because in the guard, he's using the can opener, and what he's trying to do is get Anderson to open up his guard. By putting incredible pressure on the neck like that, the only way to relieve that pressure is for Anderson to release his guard and scoot his hips back.
Long-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt under the Nogueira brothers, Anderson Silva.
Weidman lands a good elbow there. It's very difficult to land hard. There's a solid shot.
And another.
That one hurt him.
And this is what you said earlier, Joe, that Chris was going to look to do. Take him down and beat him up.
Take him down, beat him up, hurt him. Anderson now goes with a body triangle. It makes it very hard for Chris to breathe and even harder for him to generate power in his shots. It's more of a defensive technique, though. As long as Anderson has that body triangle on, he's not going to be offensive from the bottom as far as submissions go. Big shot by Weidman. Weidman hurt him.
From the bottom, Silva.
Good elbow from the bottom by Anderson.
90 seconds on the clock here in round one.
You know, we've seen this in several Anderson fights, especially the Chael Sonnen fight, the second one, where he gets taken down fairly easily in the first round, but in the second round, his opponent can't take him down.
In the first fight, Chris Weidman took him down.
Again, he's using that can opener, and then he lands a short punch. And he hurt him again. Ooh, good shots from the bottom. Good hammer fist from the bottom.
Joe, as you mentioned, Anderson was rocked early, but he has obviously recovered, and he's staying active on his back. 45.
Someone's cut. I see blood. It may be from Weidman. It's tough
one
to
of those
tell.
elbows, right?
Yeah, it's tough to tell.
30 was a Silva elbow.
Oh, big elbow by
there.
Chris.
20 seconds.
Now Weidman's going to stack him.
15.
Yeah, it's Weidman's blood. It's coming from his nose.
Big shot at the end of the round. Watch out.
Yeah, you see that punch that connected. That hurt him. No doubt about it. Look, you see his eyes close and his body gives out. And there's always a question when a guy gets knocked unconscious the way he did in his last fight. It takes a long time to recover from something like that.
The Phenom.
That's the monster waiting in the wings for whoever wins this fight.
How good has he been
That's
this
a scary
year?
face.
Yes, it is. Started calling his fights when he was 19 years old.
Now it's your turn.
Pedro Hizzo.
Got to clinch him. Take him to the clinch.
Amongst those in the corner of the former longtime champion. 6 years, 8 months, and 22 days. Anderson Silva was the middleweight champ.
Look, Anderson Silva got hurt bad in that round, Mike, and we could see it in the replay.
Chris Weidman has been the champ since July 6th. Round 2. And Weidman hurt him when they were clinching, which is something we've seen utilized so dynamically by the Spider. Good kick.
There's a first. Inside leg kick by Anderson. Very fast.
Anderson's hands are up still. And one of the most dynamic knockouts in UFC history was Silva on Vitor Belfort.
You know, one of the things that I'm impressed with about Weidman, and I was impressed with in the first fight as well, was that he knows when not to come in.
Right.
He knows distance very well. He might not be as fast as Anderson, but he's very good at gauging when Anderson's going to move forward and he gets out of the way. And he makes Anderson think because of that. Whereas other guys have stood flat-footed in front of him and allowed Anderson to get his timing down and launch shots. There's a good shot to the body.
Oh, nice.
He checked it.
No!
He hurt himself.
He hurt his leg, and it is all over. Anderson hurt his leg when the kick was checked, and Weidman remains the champion.
He broke his leg. Anderson fractured his leg. You can see his leg hanging loose now. Wow. He broke his leg. Unbelievable. What a crazy ending. It went limp. It snapped right in half.
Chris, right now, please.
Wow.
Come on.
Much like Corey Hill years ago, Joe.
Very much like. What a shocking end.
Okay, relax.
He snapped his leg.
The doctor's got you. So
wow. It went completely limp. You can see it dangle.
Unbelievable.
Let's take a look at it again. We'll see if we can see it snap.
Fight replay brought to you by Bud Light. Here we go.
Watch this. He checks it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Wow. That's about as obvious as it gets. And as I told you, John Danaher, oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness.
John Danaher had said after the first fight that was what concerned him about his performance, was that he wasn't checking leg kicks. Well, he checked that one. What a shocking turn of events.
Wow. And Joe, in the end, we have an odd ending again to Chris Weidman defeating Anderson Silva.
Well, not just an odd ending, Mike, but that might be the ending of Anderson Silva's career. That is an incredibly difficult injury to come back from. That's a serious fracture of the leg. I mean, it's going to be difficult for him to walk again for a long time. Snapping your leg in half like that, that's a very serious injury, and this might be the end of a great mixed martial arts career. At the very least, a long time recovering. We remember how long it took Frank Mir to come back from his motorcycle injury where he snapped his leg. And Frank came back, was never himself again for years. It took at least a year and a half, 2 years after his return till we start to see the real Frank Mir again.
And Corey Hill, who's not a great champion like Anderson Silva, but yet a mixed martial artist, he came back. It took a couple years, but it didn't last very long. It's so tough, especially mentally, to throw a kick again.
Unbelievable. What an unexpected turn of events.
Wow.
I mean, that's only the second time we've ever seen that inside the octagon, Mike, and to see it from Anderson Silva. And very fascinating to see it when we were talking about that very thing being a problem in the first fight. The Danaher recognized that. Well, I'll tell you what, Chris Weidman seriously worked on his leg checking because he nailed it perfectly.
He has done it again. Chris Weidman defeats Anderson Silva with the official decision. Here is Bruce Buffer.